How do you fix a team that's an absolute mess? Most NFL teams take forever. Years of bad drafts, wasted money, fans crying into their beer mugs every Sunday. Some teams never figure it out. They stay stuck for decades, making everyone wonder why they even bother watching. But one team ran in the opposite direction. They went from being so bad that they made other bad teams feel good about themselves to standing on a stage under bright lights, holding the Lombardi Trophy. This is the story of the fastest, most insane turnaround the NFL has ever seen. And it starts with a quarterback who couldn't stop throwing the ball to the wrong team. The 2019 Tampa Bay Buccaneers were a mess. Like, a serious mess. They went 7-9 with a quarterback named Jameis Winston, who did something that had never been done before in NFL history, and not in a good way. He threw 30 touchdown passes and 30 interceptions in the same season. Think about that for a second. Every time Winston threw a touchdown, he also threw a pick. It was like flipping a coin every play. Sometimes you got points. Sometimes you gave the other team points. Playing offense with Jameis Winston was like playing Russian roulette with a football. The Bucs had some good players on defense, guys like Lavonte David, who were making plays and trying their hardest. But it didn't matter, because their quarterback was throwing the ball to anyone wearing any color jersey. The team had no direction, no plan, no hope. They were stuck in NFL purgatory. Not bad enough to get the first pick in the draft, not good enough to make the playoffs. Just floating around, mediocre and sad, while everyone forgot they existed. But then, something crazy happened. Something so wild that when it was announced, people thought it was a joke. Before we go any further though, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications if you haven't done so already. If you want more NFL stories that'll blow your mind. Back to it. Tom Brady, the guy who'd won 6 Super Bowls with the Patriots, the legend who was in New England for 20 years, upped and decided to leave and join the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs. The team that just went 7-9. The team whose quarterback threw the ball to the other team as much as his own team. The team that nobody was talking about, or thinking about, or expecting to do anything special. When the news broke, NFL fans and reporters lost it. Sports shows spent entire episodes trying to figure out why Brady would leave the Patriots for Tampa Bay of all teams. People thought he'd gone crazy in his old age. Fans thought he was washed up and making a desperate mistake. The jokes wrote themselves. Brady's going to retire after one season with the Bucs, and Tom must have hit his head, and this is going to be embarrassing. But Tom Brady saw something no one else could see. He saw Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, 2 elite receivers who could catch anything. He saw a defense that was 1 or 2 pieces away from being scary good. He saw a coach named Bruce Arians who knew how to win. And most importantly, he saw a chance to prove that he was great because of himself, not because he played for the Patriots. So, Brady showed up in Tampa Bay and got to work. But the Bucs didn't stop there. They went full video game mode and started signing Tom's entourage and other elite players like they were trying to buy a championship team in one summer. They brought in Rob Gronkowski, Brady's favorite tight end, who came out of retirement just to play with Tom again. They signed Leonard Fournette, a running back who the Jaguars had just cut. They even added Antonio Brown, who was basically banned from the NFL until Brady said, "Give him one more chance." The Bucs looked at the roster and said, "We're winning the Super Bowl this year, or we're gonna go down in flames trying." Most teams are too scared to do that. They want to build slowly through the draft and be safe. Tampa Bay said, "F being safe, we're going all in right now." The 2020 season started and the Bucs looked okay. Not great, not terrible, just okay. They went 11-5, which was good, but not Super Bowl champion good. Brady was learning a new system. The offense had some rough games. The defense was solid, but not dominant. When the playoffs started, nobody picked the Bucs to win the Super Bowl. Everyone was talking about the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. Everyone was hyped about Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. The Bucs were just happy to be there. And then they turned into monsters. First game, they beat Washington easily. Nothing special. Washington was weak and barely made the playoffs. Second game, they went to New Orleans and destroyed the Saints, a team that had beaten them twice during the regular season. The defense made Drew Brees look old and confused. Brady picked them apart like he'd been doing it for 20 years, which, to be fair, he had. Third game, the NFC Championship in Green Bay in the freezing cold against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, who everyone thought would win. The Packers were playing at home. The weather was brutal. Everyone said the Bucs were a warm weather team from Florida who couldn't handle the cold. But the Bucs won 31-26. Brady threw 3 touchdowns in freezing weather like it was a sunny day in July. The defense picked off Rodgers 3 times. Tampa Bay was going to the Super Bowl in their own stadium, the first team ever to play a Super Bowl at home. Their opponent? The Kansas City Chiefs, the defending champions, led by Patrick Mahomes, the young superstar who everyone said was the next Tom Brady. This was supposed to be the passing of the torch, the old legend versus the new king. The Chiefs were heavy favorites because their offense was unstoppable, and Mahomes looked like he couldn't be beaten. But the Bucs absolutely destroyed them. Tampa Bay won 31-9, and it wasn't even close. The Bucs defense made Patrick Mahomes look like he'd never played football before. They chased him around the field on every play. They hit him constantly. They didn't let him throw a single touchdown pass, the first time that had ever happened to Mahomes in a playoff game. Meanwhile, Brady threw 3 touchdowns and carved up the Chiefs' defense like he was playing Madden on rookie mode. At 43 years old, Tom Brady won his 7th Super Bowl ring and proved that he was the greatest quarterback of all time. No debate, no argument, just facts. The Bucs went from 7-9 to Super Bowl champions in one season. One single season. Think about how crazy that is. Most rebuilds take 5 years minimum. The Browns have been rebuilding for 20 years and still haven't figured it out. The Bucs did it in one offseason by making big, risky moves that could have blown up in their faces, but instead created the perfect storm. They got the greatest quarterback ever. They surrounded him with weapons. They built a nasty defense. They hired proven coaches and went all in without being scared of the future. Other teams have had good rebuilds. The Rams turned things around quickly. The 49ers went from bad to good, fast. The Eagles won a Super Bowl during their rebuild, but none of them did it as fast or as perfectly as Tampa Bay. The Bucs went from joke to champions faster than most people can binge watch a TV series. They didn't tank for years to get draft picks. They didn't slowly build through college players. They made aggressive moves, took huge risks, and it worked so well that other teams are still trying to copy what they did. That's why this is the greatest rebuild in NFL history. Now, if you think Tom Brady taking over the NFL at 43 years old was wild, wait until you see what happens when a quarterback is so fast, so talented, and so full of himself that he literally changes how offense works while wearing enough jewelry to open his own store. Check out why Deion Sanders might be the best corner of all time, and watch how prime-time made receivers want to retire and quarterbacks want to throw the ball literally anywhere else on the field.